Check it out. It's my new backpack carrier or rack. So originally I was gonna make a side bags for this, and then I had an incident in my Chava Falls video where I did a wheelie, spun around, and then I was thinking when I got home, because I got injured from that having side bags may have made that whole thing much worse if it would have caught my leg or something. So I've decided that with what I do, side bags would not be good. So I thought the only place left is the front. So I decided to make a rack, and it can carry various things. It can carry this backpack. I can bungee it in there, and that works out pretty good, but I can't quite fit everything. Like I can fit my cameras and stuff in it, but I want to carry like probably 3 water bottles when I go out usually, because I've been going through 2, so I want to have a 3rd. So I decided to have something else. So I came up with and wear the backpack. Just try to distribute the weight so I don't have so much in the backpack. So this works great. This one's hard to get though. It's an ammo box, or ammo can, I believe is what they call them. It's a smart loader. This one's hard to get though. I couldn't really find it anywhere. But this one's nice because it flips open from the front. Then there's this one that I've been using. And so between this and my backpack, I can pretty much carry everything. But I wanted to have a little more weight in the front, because I think this has about maybe 10 pounds in it. So I wanted to do like maybe a max of 15 pounds. And it's not really noticeable in the steering or in the loss of traction or anything. So I think 15 pounds is probably good. Maybe even 20, but I don't carry that much stuff. So the stuff that I bring, my cameras and everything, add up to about 15 pounds or so. But this is a Cabela. I think you have to get it from Cabela. It's like 20 bucks. Or they have some other ones that are similar to it on Amazon. One for like 15. There's another one for 12, but it wasn't in stock. It's one of the most bought ones. So for 12 bucks, I'm pretty sure they run out pretty quick. But if you can find it, otherwise it's at Cabela. If you look on Amazon, you just look for this little cutout like that, and then these are I think they're pretty unique of this one. There might be a smaller size, but I did modify this one a little bit. I cut out this middle part, which you might have to do, and then just reseal it with hot glue or something, and then I had to cut these off just because I didn't want to modify my rack anymore. So then I just put some hot glue on the inside of it where I had done that. So I filled up those little channels, and I can probably peel the tape off if I wanted to, but anyway, that is that. This is working out pretty good. Like I said, I can carry, and then I did Velcro down here, so this is nice for when, even if I wasn't using this. So there's some padding there. I think the Velcro by itself can actually hold this on there, but I'll probably put a strap on, a bungee or something. But yeah, it's working great. I can fit my camera stuff, my quadcopter, even in its case. The case can fit in like this. My camera fits over there. My big lens fits in there, and then there's still room for flashlights and whatever else. I think that even my water bottles fit in here. Yeah, these water bottles, these are the water bottles I use. They work pretty good. Yeah, water bottles fit in there. Usually the water bottles I would carry in my backpack. So now I have a tank bag. That's where I carry my first water bottle, the one I'm using. And then I want to carry 2 more in my backpack, plus any other odds and ends of stuff that I want to bring. So this is working out pretty good. So I'll show in a minute the brackets that I used. I tried to do it as cheap as possible, so some of this stuff you might not have thought of using on it, but it's working pretty good. So I think the only thing I really need to show is this part right here. If you can see that, I think you can. I wanted this light to be kind of flush with that one. It sticks out a little bit, but that's alright. So this bracket had to go back past that bracket. It's not hurting it any. It's on there solid. So having it like that, you could have it out farther, but I didn't really like how it looks, so I wanted it back a little bit. So in fact, well, actually that's where it had to be, so I can still move the light. But that's how that is. For these lights, I did have to extend the wires out, so that's what I did there. And then the way I did this is I have 2 light plugs. These work independently of each other. So I soldered the 2 wires together into one plug, and then I plug it into the plug for the lights on the bike. So I can have one, the other, or both. That should work out pretty good if I ever use them. But yep, the only other thing is this one has to go a little higher because of this lock. I cut out this little bit for the fender, but other than that, pretty easy to make, and it's working out pretty good. I'm not noticing any loss of traction. So if you're in need for a little more storage, this might work out for you. It's pretty easy. I have a couple more videos coming. That's gonna be a nitrogen tank for filling tires and shocks and whatnot. I'll do a video on that one. And then I have these 2 tires, which I think I'm gonna put on here in a minute. So this tire didn't have really any reviews on it. Had like 1 review on Amazon, so I took a chance on it. And then this one you currently can't get, but what I like about it is it's a 2.75, which is supposed to be I think 70, and it might be a 110 tire. I don't know yet. It's a little bit taller than this one, so once they're on and aired up, I'll see. I'm hoping this is a 110 tire to lift the front end up a little more, and plus it'll take the bumps a little better if the sidewall is actually a little, it looks like it is. It looks like there's a little more sidewall, but find out when I get it put on. So now I'm just going to show the brackets and everything, and what is needed to make the backpack rack. These are the brackets that I used. I took the side brackets off because the Cabela was longer than 12 inches. But I'm using this one on the front for the light and to keep it from going forward. These are the brackets I'm using. 8x6. I didn't see a 2-pack. There's only a 4-pack, so you can always use it for something else. These are the clamps that I used. They are for stage lighting. It's kind of hard to find these clamps for the tubes in the design that's needed. So, and plus it was $30, and that's about, I think, the typical price. But I couldn't find any for a dirt bike that had the right design and would be strong enough. So these ones work great. I just have to use a piece of rubber, and I believe the rubber was, I'll measure it real quick. Oh, where's the chunk I can measure? This one right here. .8. So the rubber I'm using in between the tube and the clamp is like 2.8 millimeter, and then the piece of aluminum I'm using for the plate is about 1.5 millimeter, so something around there. And then there's just the brackets. I replaced these screws with the kind that need a Allen wrench style rounded. I don't use the wing nut here, and it works a lot better. So I have the nut inside here, and then I have like a rounded screw. I think it's you see it in the video if you go back and look. And then on this one I use like a Teflon nut, and then I chopped off the excess of this. So oh, and something that I just found, I've always used Sharpies to paint bolts if I need them to be black. The only problem is most of the Sharpies will rub off after a while, so if you don't touch them, it's good. But these ones right here, these Pro, they're more like paint. Mark on wet, oily surfaces. These are more like paint. So so far it hasn't really been rubbing off. So if you need a way to paint a bolt or a nut, try that. So this is the switch that I'm using for my second light. So when I did this, all I did was I pulled these wires out, and then pulled the wires out of the other light switch that I have and soldered them together, shoved it back into this plug, and then plugged it into the bike. I think it's this one, but that's how I did that. I just combined the wires into one plug. But this has this USB. It powers the cameras without batteries, some of them. I think my Insta does, and then my GoPro 8. But the GoPro 11 won't run on it without a battery, so it still has to have its battery in. When it's really hot out, I don't like to use the batteries in them. I run them off a battery bank or something. So but it's good to have this if you need to charge your phone or whatever. But that's what I used. And this is the other light switch that I use, and at some point I might make it street legal, I don't know. But this is the one I use for the stock light. Alright, there you go. Let me know what you think of it in the comments.